This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so we'll just create a folder and then we'll get started. So today we will discuss about geographical fields, which are today's 15. Yeah, it's 15. Okay, right. Let's put here outside file and we have to save this file. All right. So the first thing, today's topic is about the geographical fields. So before I start, can anyone quickly confirm you can see my screen and hear me without any issues?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. All right, that's good. So we'll start it with the geographical analysis. So that means here in Tableau, we can also show the data in terms of the maps. I can plot something on a map like we did the map pointing or the map coloring in our childhood days. So is that possible? Yes, we can do that. Apart from having the reports in terms of the bars or in terms of the line chart, so we can also show on the maps as well. That's very nice. So what is the geographical analysis here? So it's very simple terminology, plotting the data on the map. So we will be plotting our data on the map. Very nice. So let's see how we can do that and what are the specifications which we have to follow that. Very good. So for this, I would need some small data because if I use the existing data, we really don't see some things, we try to miss them. So sample data, and let's have 3 columns here. So the column names I would like to have is the state information, and then I want to say profits, I want to say sales. Okay, so let's put some 2 to 3 records, only 2 to 3, and let's put some state related information here. Take some random numbers and another state, and then let's take some numbers again. 4 numbers are fine. All right. All right, let's save this file. So I want to connect this file to Tableau. So what we can do the simple way is drag and drop. So let's drag this file and drop it in Tableau. How many columns importantly? Focus on this one. So one is a text and the other 2 are the numbers. Very good. Now let's go to sheet, click on the sheet, and I see the same thing here. Okay, now let's drag this here into this rows. Yes, I'm able to see that. So now I want to show this as a map. I want to plot these on the map. So can I really show that information? How do I show that? If you remember, when we were talking about some fields, when we connected it to the Superstore data, so it used to show me something in the form of a globe symbol, isn't it? But that symbol is not coming up here. Now, generally, where the globe symbol shows may be for state related information. But here I have the state related information, but this is showing as ABC. Then why it is not showing as globe? First point. When it shows as globe, and can I convert this into the globe format? So many questions I have, isn't it? Right. So that means, so how Tableau understand your data? So how Tableau understands the data is very important. Now observe the geographical analysis here. We can do this in two ways. So we can have the geographical fields or analysis. We can do that in two ways. So what are the two ways here? So one is an automated way and the second is a manual way. So here a Tableau says I cannot do anything, I'm so sorry. Then we don't have the option, we have to look at the manual way. Okay, so what is a manual way? What you wanted to do is convert this field into the geographical field. So I want to convert this ABC into the geographical field. So how to do that? So right click on this and here you have something here, geographical role. So I want to assign some role to that. By default, it is a string format. That is fine. I want to assign one more role for that. But here I am seeing a list of default roles available in Tableau. That means that Tableau is able to identify airports, area codes. So whatever you see in brackets as US, so those are only applicable to US, but not in other countries. And so it can identify city level information, country level information, county level information, and even if you are working on the European countries, so it can identify and even state zip codes. Zip code nothing but the postal codes. Now which one is best suited here? This is a state information, so I'm trying to select here. So that is a state related information. So I'm manually changing that to a globe symbol. So when I change that to the globe symbol, something happened here, isn't it? So it is trying to generate these two fields. So it is trying to generate these two fields, latitudes and longitudes. So what is happening here means, so Tableau is able to read this column and it is trying to get the latitudes and the longitudes for those places from Tableau. So now every place, every country has a latitudes and longitudes, isn't it? So that is nothing but X and Y coordinates only. So when you book any cab, so it asks you enter the location and the dropping location, you have to do that. So that is nothing but your X and Y coordinate system. So that will be in the north and maybe something in the east. This is the latitudes and this is the longitudes. So every place or every um, uh, moving object, so if it is moving, so the latitudes, longitudes changes. So every country, every city, every place has latitudes and longitudes. All right. Now when I change that to state, it is generating automatically, and that's why the field it says here, I have generated that. That's fine. So that is step number one. So when Tableau doesn't convert or doesn't understand the column that it has the state level information, then we have to do manually geographical role and then select the right ones here. Okay, that's one thing. Second, it generated these two fields. Very nice. Now, for example, here, this is the this is the manual way. This is the manual way. Okay, now observe, I'll do some changes here to this data. Right, observe here, I'll do some changes here. So I'm removing the geographical role and I'm changing that to none. So it is gone automatically. So now instead of the column name as a state information, so I'm removing that and I'm saving this file. So now what is the name of the column here? It is just the state. Okay, and how do I get the updated information? So when I do some changes here, if I want to get updated information here, so what should I do? I'm using a live connection, see the data. Now how do I get updated information? Right click there and say refresh data, isn't it? Yes, if I do refresh data, okay, do you observe? Now it is automatically showing as a state as the geographical role, and it is automatically generating these two things. That means do we have any problem here? So if I say state information, and if I say refresh here, then it is not generating the geographical field. So that means, is there any link to the name of the column? Yes, definitely. So there is some link with the name of the columns. So let's put that point here. So how it generates in automated way? So here automated way means, so Tableau generates latitude and longitude automatically when the column names are something like this: continent, country, then state, then city, then zip code or postal code. So if you have the column names like this, then Tableau will understand automatically that, okay, I have to generate the latitudes and longitudes. So if the column names are not coming in this way, then manually you have to generate them. So manually, how do you generate the geographical fields? We have to right click on that column name and change the geographical role. So this is the interview question. How do you apply geographical roles to the fields? So very simple navigation, right click geographical roles and select them. All right, this is the interview question. Okay, now the next thing here. So I want to change it back to state and save that, and let's say refresh here. So I'm getting the geographical field. Very nice. All right, now let's change a couple of things here. So what do we do here is, what did we write the point here? Manual way. So how do we do that? Apply the geographical role for that field. So we have to apply that role manually. Very nice. So we know something about applying things for that. The next thing what we see here is, I have the name of the column like this. Very good. But here, let's say I have some spelling mistakes. All right. So I have some spelling mistakes here. So will it still generate the geographical fields? The column is a state, but will it still generate the fields? Let's take a look. So refresh the data, and it says there's no change, isn't it? So state is still geographical, and latitudes or longitudes are generated, isn't it? So will it work? Yeah, we will take a look. We will take a look very soon for this. So I'm changing that back for now. Save that. All right, now what do when the field comes like this? What is the use? What can I do? isn't it? That's a valid question. So generally, we used to drag and drop these fields. So if you drag and drop this field, I'm still seeing the table only. Sir, where is the map? You are telling me map, map, map. Where is the map? Let's just double click on this item. All right. So double click on the state now. So wait for a second. So it is trying to do something for you. So when you double click on the geographical field, so it is trying to place latitude and longitude here. And it is trying to show something on the screen. So let's maximize and see what it is trying to do. So it is trying to show the complete map, yeah, complete world in fact. So this is your complete map. You can use these options here. You can use these options just to move up and down, something like that. All right, so if I want to see something on this like a map, then you have to double click on the geographical fields. All right, that's one very good point. All right, now in maps here, remember one point. We have two types of maps. That means we can work with maps in two ways. So what are they? One is called as the symbol maps, and the second one we call it as field maps. But here the latest versions all it just shows some maps, and this is a default map. So you have two types of maps where we can work with it. First one is a symbol map, which it is showing right now. So if you see now, this is called as a symbol map. Why symbol map here? Observe this one. So it is trying to show you one symbol, which is a circle shape. So I should say actually this is a shapes here, but it make uses of this one. But we call that as the symbol maps. But what is the other one here? Other one is a field map. But if you observe, where is that word field map? It is not there. But I'm talking or referring to this field. In the very old version, so we used to call this as field maps, F-I-L-L-E-D. So if I select this here, so it will try to fill like this, right? It's trying to fill like this. So that means you can work with the maps in two different ways. Either you want to show as the symbols or you want to show completely like this. So it is a user's choice. Okay, so we have two types of maps now. Very nice. Now, can we go back? Can we go back to, let's say, no, not Superstore. We'll see one more example here, and then we will switch to the Superstore. And did you find any issues when working with this small data? Now, if I go to sheet 2, double click on the state, so I'm directly getting the values on the map. Very good. I'm not seeing any issues here. But I'll create one issue here, isn't it? So straightforward, we don't learn many things. Now what I'm trying to do is I gave something in the invalid name. Otherwise, I said TN. That is a name of, that is a code, isn't it? Tamil Nadu is, the two-letter code is TN. Will Tableau identify? Let's take a look here. All right. So here I got the data with this format. So I have some full names and I have some codes here. Very good. Interesting. Let's double click on the state. Is it still showing the data? Oh, interestingly, this shows data, isn't it? Sir, we did not do one thing here. So once you save the file, what we have to do? Refresh the data. Otherwise, how do we get the updated data? So let's right click and refresh the data. So do you see TN now? Yes. Now double click on the state. Okay, so what is happening? It is showing only two things on the screen, and it is trying to show you unknown. And one of the common issues in building the maps is fixing the unknowns. This is another commonly asked interview question. So what is a commonly asked question is, what is the known issue or common issue when working with the maps? So what is the common issue is, we will get unknown values on the screen. This is a very common issue that the Tableau cannot fix it by itself. So we have to fix it. Okay, now what should we do? Click on the unknowns. All right, click on the unknown. Now the next step is click on edit locations. All right, I want to see what is the problem. So edit locations. Okay, now here you can see there is one issue. Yes, so it says TN and unrecognized. So remember this word because you will see two different words more frequently. Unrecognized and the other word is ambiguous. So you will find those things. We'll see the second one. And here it says, I did not understand what location you are talking about. So can you help me? Yes, we have to help Tableau here. So how we have to fix this problem? Now click on this drop down and expand it. So do you find the name of the state here? Yeah, I see the name of the state here. Yes. So TN is for this. So we have to manually fix this problem. And then the issues are gone. No issues found. So let's click on OK. Now the unknown value is fixed. And if you scroll, so I'm using mouse middle button just to scroll, otherwise you can use these options. Yes, now I can see the third state value also. So what is the point here is, when we get values, we have to manually fix them. So we have to manually fix the unknown values.
Sir, for unknown, did you click, sir? For unknown.
Just click on the unknowns. So we clicked on the unknown button and clicked on edit locations. So do you want to see that again? All right. So how do I open that window once again? I want to see where I fixed, what I fixed. So how do you do that is, go to the map option and then say here, edit locations. So this is the window where I fixed the unknown value. Right, so can you remove that now, because we fixed it, so we really cannot make it problematic here. So if you want to do that again, let's hit a Control Z. So how did I fix that? Click on the unknown, click on edit location, and click on unrecognized. Click on the drop down, select the right value. Sorry, this is not the right value. This is a different value again. Right, and say OK. So the unknown value is fixed, and we can see on the screen. I want to move this map, so then click on this and use this option, which is for pan. Pan is just for moving the screen. Right, so that is how we can fix the unknown values. Very nice. So now we know something like double clicks or assigning the roles manually, and how to fix the values. Click on the unknowns and then fix the values. So with this information, can we go to the Superstore data, and then let's connect to that data and see what is the things what we can learn. So let's connect it to the Superstore data. So how do we generally connect?
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. So I have a question.
Mhm.
Assume that we are working. In the sample example, you have shown that it is in. We are working for an Indian state. Assume that we are working for another European countries or other France countries. In that particular case, if they have provided like county-wise details, so we are not able to identify that particular name in the edit location. So in that case, who will help us with the
Yeah,
location name?
fine. That's a good question. So you have to hang on for a few more minutes because you can
Okay.
see. So how to fix that? So we are yet to discuss that.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So that's why I'm connecting to Superstore data. So hang on for some more time. Your question will be answered. All right, I'll just keep a note on that. If it doesn't cover, I'll make sure it covers. All right, so let's connect it to the Superstore data. And where is that file? Let's go to Excel, connect this file. So this file contains the data of which country? This is related to US. So it is related to India. Okay, do you have automatically the geographical fields? So when you see that the tableau identifies automatically, that means it read these columns correctly. That's the good news. And now, do you see for which columns it is putting the geographical fields? City, country, and postal codes. That means the zip codes and the state as well. Yeah, I have got 4 to 5 different fields. Very nice. Now, if I double click on the state, okay, I want to click on state. Let's see what happens. Double click on this. Wait for a second. Observe there. 49 unknowns. The very common issue is unknowns. We have to fix it manually. Let's see what is the problem here. Is it not identifying something? Is it the location, or is it the street? Is it the street name or address name, or the state level or county wise, country wise? Let's take a look. So click on 49 unknowns and click on edit locations. Okay, so now if you see that it is not able to identify any of the states, isn't it? So it says everything is unknown, unrecognized. I don't see what it is. What I should do now? Very simple, understand what is the problem. So these are the states. This is a state level information of which country? US. But what we have here, we have India. All right, so let's try to fix that. So don't try to fix here manually because it still shows the Indian states, isn't it? So the problem is a little bigger now. It is a country-wise information. So click on this and make sure you select the right country here. So the right country here is United States. Okay, when I just fix the country, now everything got fixed automatically. Okay, so do I have any other issues? Very nice, everything is fixed. So let's say, okay, now the complete information is gone, isn't it? So there is no errors as of now. So the problem here was the country was not selected properly. So W says, please fix this problem and I can show you the information. So this time the problem was related to selecting the right country. Very nice. So what is the default type of map? This is the symbol map. And I don't want these symbols. Can I change this? Yes, you can definitely change it to the filled map, and this is how it looks like. All right, so that's the type of map. Okay, but so this data doesn't have any issues at all, but we want to create an issue here. Okay, so let's go back to the same, do the same thing here. And fine, I just want to keep this data, but create another notepad. And let's say this is a sample 2 data. This time I got some information about the street level information. Or let's say this is the name of the branch and how much sales I did and how much profits I did. So my branch is in High-Tech City. My sales is something like this, and another branch is in Midpate. So this is related to Hyderabad information, and this is let's say sale. All right, now if I plot this data, do I get the geographical field? Definitely no, because there is a no column which says a country, state, city, zip code. I don't have that. Okay, let's see now what we should do. Let's drag this file into Tableau and let's go to sheet 4. And is this your data? Yes, this is my data. Very good. I want to plot this on the map. So I don't have the information. So who will provide this information? So that was the question, isn't it? So now what do? We don't have any values. So here there are two things. Number one, if it is only for few fields where you can fix it, then we'll do it step by step. But if you have got so many records, let's say 100 records. So for 100 records, I don't want to do manually the next step, which we can fix it here. If you have too many records without the latitudes, longitudes, then we have to upload them to a separate Excel file and then link that file to your data. But if it is only one or two, generally it will be only one or two, most of the cases. Then how do we do that? All right, let's take a look. I want to now plot this on a map. That's my requirement. Okay, I manually converted this to, okay, maybe the best one which suits here is the postal codes. Oh, it generated. Very good. So let's see, double click this branch. Let's see what happens. So it will tell us here, unknown. So Tableau says, hey, what is that you are doing? This is unknown. How can I plot it on the map? Which country, which street? I really don't know. Then now let's click on the unknown, edit locations. And okay, it identified, okay, you are in India. Very good. Half of the problem is solved. Let's click on, it's taking some time. Click on the drop down. Oh, it is giving the postal codes. I don't need this postal code. I really don't know what it is. How do I fix this problem? Valid question. How do we fix this problem? Go to the top of the thing. You have an option. Enter a latitude and longitude. Okay, now I need to manually tell Tableau what is the latitudes and longitudes. But how do I know, sir? How do I know? Do I need to carry any device? Stand there, get that? No need. So for that, just go to Google. And so as I said, every place will have latitudes and longitudes. So here we will say latitude and longitude of which one? Just type the name of the place. So here you are getting some northeast positions. Copy this value and there's that longitude. So this is the latitude, this is the longitude. So manually you have to enter these values. So one is done. The second one, click on the drop down, enter that, and high-tech city. So manually you have to do this. Okay, I got the values, so pick those values and place that and place this value. All right, so now the issues are gone. Very nice. So will I see this information on a map? Say okay. And what you are seeing, some blank screen. Now just zoom out. So you will definitely find those two states in this state. So this is the latitudes and this is your another location. So what did we do just now? When Tableau is not able to understand, we try to help from a drop down, and if there is no matching value, then we have to manually enter the latitudes and the longitudes. So what do we call that kind of a step? So what do we call that is custom geocoding. So what is custom geocoding? Remember, the word custom means manual. So we have to manually enter latitudes, comma, longitudes. Then it becomes a custom geocoding. When we manually enter the latitudes and longitudes, then it is called as custom geocoding. Right? So if you have any location now, so just go to Google and get your latitudes and longitudes. Sir, Google is not helping my street. What you do, take your map, go to Google Maps and move your pointer. Any location, it generates latitudes and longitudes automatically. So that way we have to fix the problems which we get from this window. What is that window here? So edit locations window. All right. So did I answer your question? So I have to look at it. So is it Vikram? So who asked the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you get your answer?
Still bit confusion on that. I'm just trying to correlate that thing. If not, I'll get back to you on the by end of the class, sir.
No problem. No problem. I want to leave you more confused. Let's say there are two countries here. Okay, so two different countries, and I have the same place here. Let's say Hyderabad and Hyderabad.
Okay.
Plot them on the map. I need data of these two countries as well. This country and this country. Same name, both are valid. Two different countries, Pakistan, India, both have Hyderabad. Then
Yes, yes.
what do we do now? How do we do? More confusion, isn't it? Then it comes here ambiguity, right? So Tableau says here ambiguity. Then we have to manually fix that here.
Okay.
So just to add more confusion to your question, but
Right, right.
we have the simple solutions. So just select the drop down and it will clearly tell you where to fix the issue. Can you fix it from this part or can you fix it from other options? Let's say country, continent, the state, or from this drop downs. So just look at different options. So it is very user friendly. We can fix it just by selecting the right one.
Okay, sir.
If nothing works, enter these things manually.
Latitude and longitude.
But
Okay.
if you have too many values, I really don't do that manually. So we can upload everything in a file and link that file to Tableau. So when we can see that. So just give a try. If something is not working, so you can always come back to me.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Sure. All right. So now what do we do? Let's do some analysis on the maps. So let's go to the new sheet. So I'm selecting the data source. This is the data which I want to have. Now I want to plot. So I want to plot the total sales on the map. So can you show me the information on a map instead of showing like this state-wise sales? So drag and drop this and sort it. Putting that information like this. Can you show me on a map? Yeah, that is very interesting, and even I can avoid scrolling issues as well. Okay, let's take a look here. How do we do that? Very simple. Just double click on the state. So this time it did not ask me fix the problem, because one time if you fix it, so Tableau remembers in that workbook. So no need to do again. All right, now what you want to do? I want to show total sales on the map. Okay, but observe there are so many things in the background, isn't it? So you have got so much of big map. So if you want to remove that, we can definitely remove them. We'll see how do we remove that. But now I want to show my information on the map. All right, let's place it this a little bit. Okay. Now take the state and put it on the label, so I can see the name of the states. So background already there is one name, isn't it? Can you remove it? Yes, we can remove it. We'll see how. And I want to show sales information also. So take the sales and put it in the labels. So I'm seeing so much of information here. All right. And what is the use of this symbol? Every symbol is of the same color, same size, isn't it? Now observe, let's take the sales measure and put it into the size. All right, so what I'm doing, because it is a symbol, I want to drag sales into the size. Okay, I didn't like the color as well. Let's change the color to something different and increase the size. I want to increase the size. Yes, you can definitely do that. All right, so by just looking at this, I can say, let's turn off the labels for a minute. So now I can say by looking at the map, this is a bigger size, so you have more sales, followed by maybe this one, and then followed by this, followed by this. So I can change the size of the symbols by dragging the measure into the size, right? So this is a use. If you have a symbol map, you can show them in different sizes as well. So you can increase, decrease, and it shows like this. So nowadays we are displaying the number of cases we have from Corona, COVID-19. So we are trying to display in this fashion. The more bigger the circle, it's more dangerous, isn't it? So we used to do some analysis, like we used to have the symbol maps, and we were validating whether the neighborhood states have the next effect. And here, so if it is a number of cases, let's assume this green color one as the number of cases. So it's affecting randomly. So this is more affected area, and it might spread to these areas next. So we have to stop that here itself. So we should not allow that to go this. So we will just inform these states, take all the precautionary measures, and then restrict the number of cases. Just assumption so that this is not sales, this is the number of cases wise information. So that is what we can do. But the maps are very useful to do the very good analysis when you have the good data for good domain. Okay, so this is the symbol map. Show the same thing, but not on the symbol, the different type of a map, which is a filled map. Okay, click on the sheet, the same thing, but a different approach. Double click on that, and I don't want the symbols, please. So change that to a map. Now everything is filled. Now observe, I want to get rid of the background. I really don't like the background. So I want to get rid of all these countries because I'm not using it. Then go to the map, go to the layers. Every map will have the layers. What are the different layers we have? We have the land, we have the what we call the railways, the roadways, the streetways, and the flight ways, how it is going, and the waterways, the symmetries. You have got so many things. And observe when you click on the layers, this is a screen which we get. And by default, you have so many layers. So if I unselect each one of them, so that is getting clear, isn't it? So I don't want the borders, country-wise borders, and even state-wise borders. Remove that. I don't have nothing. I mean, I don't have anything here now. Close it. And this is the only thing which I have on the screen. So I can just put that properly on the screen now. All right, this is fine. Now it's still showing some names here. So what is still selected? The names, even I don't want the names, unselect that. So when you unselect everything from this layers, then it is called as zero layered map. This is another interview question. What is a zero layered map? So zero layered maps means a simple answer when we remove all layers from the map. So how do you do that? So the options is go to map and then map layers. Then unselect all checkboxes. Then that is called as zero layered map. Right? And let's plot now. Let's plot now the same thing which we did in the previous sheet. So take your state level information, put that in the label. All right, and put your sales into the label. I want to change the color of the map. Yes, definitely you can change. So let's put different colors. Okay. So now you are trying to show again the same thing, the state-wise sales. But here I want to show like which state has got highest sales. How do I show that? Because everything is the same font, the same text. How do I show? Very simple. The previous example, we dragged the measure into the size. Now we will drag the measure into the color. Okay, let's take the sales and put it into the color. Okay, now it is trying to show something. This is a continuous coloring only. So we are dragging a measure, putting into the color. So it is a continuous coloring. So only one color with multiple shades. So wherever you see the darkest color, yeah, highest number of sales, followed by this, and this. And again, continuous coloring only, and the another way of displaying the data. So it is a Tableau developers option, which one to show. All right, so if you want to show this way, show it. This way, show it. So it is the user's choice. Okay, now I got one small question here. Sarah, show me, this is the interview question. So I want to display sales and profits on the map. Observe here, what is the problem? So you want to display sales and profits on the map. Is it possible? Two measures on the map. Why it is not possible? Let's take a look. Okay, this is fine. So which one you want to make use of it? I want to make a symbol map or a field map. That is your choice. Okay, if I'm taking the symbol map, what you want to display? Sales and profits. Okay, so the first thing, I'm taking a state, put it into the label, and you want to display sales and profits. I'm taking sales into the label and the profit into the label. Okay, I have got different numbers for each one. So our gentleman did this. Interview said, okay, very nice. But which one is sales? Which one is profit? I have numbers, but which one is sales? Which one is profit? Isn't it? So we have to show very clearly. Then what we can do, click on the label and click on the text here. Click on the text here. So if you drag any labels here, this is what you get. Now I want to put here profit. So you can type the word profit and type the word sales. Right, so show that, just write the text here and say apply. And did you observe the profit is going top? Now I want to put state on the top. So just Control X and put that on the top and make it as a center, and then remove this. So I'm just arranging the text only here, not doing much. So this is the name of the state. This is my profit. This is my sales. Very nice. So interviewer said, very good. So this is fine. But I want to show in the colors and in the sizes. So interviewer asked me, show profit and sales in terms of the colors and the sizes. Okay, sir, that is fine. So that is not a big deal. So then what we can do, so I'll keep it as it is, and let's go to the second sheet, another sheet. So now interviewer asked here, so show me in terms of the colors and the sizes. Okay, then what we can do, take the sales and put it into colors. Oh, it is changing to field map, isn't it? Now I'll change it back to the symbol map. Okay, so there's a light color coming up here. And then I want to take the profits and I want to put it into the size. Did you observe what is happening here? So the color is showing in this fashion. So there's a continuous coloring for sales, which is very hard to see. So let's change this color to this color. Again, it's very, very light colors, isn't it? So let's put some dark colors. So it's very hard to find out here, isn't it? So that's the problem the interviewer gave. So show me both in terms of sales and profits. Okay, this person said complete, sir. What completed? So sales, where is the sales? Sir, I put sales in the color. Okay, so this is color. Where is the profit? So it's in the size. Oh, it's very hard to find out, isn't it? Now what do? This is not a very user-friendly output. Now, then the interviewer asked here, hey, I want to combine this output and this output. So that means the user is asking here, show me in this fashion. So how you showed this nice red colored sizes and how you showed here like this. Combine both of them and show me. So here the question here is, so the actual question was, can we perform dual access on the maps? This was the question. So dual access means, so I need to have two axes here opposite to each other. Can you do that? This was the actual question. So that means here I want to show this and this. Possible? Let's take a look here. Observe, this is a very good interview question. So what I'm doing here is double click on the state and I'm getting like this. That's fine. And take here another copy of the latitude or longitude. So that means I'm holding the control button and I'm just moving it like this. So if I do that, I'm getting two maps side by side. Okay, if I don't do this, if I take another copy of this here, then I'm getting one below the other. That is only difference. So when I do that, I'm getting here two marks cards, isn't it? So I have the individual marks cards. Okay, the first one I want to show as the field maps. Second, I want to show as the symbol maps. Then I want to combine both of them. Right? So that is what we have to do here. And that is what the question is also asking for. So on the first map here, so click on that. So this is the first map marks card. So before that, I'll remove the layers here. So I don't need the layers. So I'll remove everything here. Let's remove everything from both of them. All right, this looks good. And the first map, let's change it to the field maps like this. Okay, here I have some colors. All right, and what you want to show on this here, I want to show the sales information. Okay, you want to show sales. So take that and put it into the colors. What happens if I put in size? See, nothing happens. It just shows one color. Because it is all filled, you really don't see anything. That's why we put that into the colors like this. Okay, this is the highest sales and followed by this, and this. That is fine. Now here, the second one, I want to show as the symbols for the profits. Okay, you want to show profits? Fine. Otherwise, let's do one thing. Let's take profits on the first map. So show this in terms of profits, and this one we will show the sales. Now click on the second and take the sales, and where should I drop it? Because it is a symbol, I will put it in the size. Okay, what is a color? So color, please change the color, and let's put here, which one? Maybe green color. All right, let's increase the size. What happens? Okay, so what is that we are showing here? These symbols is the sales information, and here the field map is showing the profits. So can we combine these two things now? How do I combine? Isn't it? So how do I combine? So take this and drag and drop it here. It is showing this way, isn't it? So this is not good. So then the simple way here is right click on the second measure you will find this option. But if you right click on the first one, you don't see that option. So dual axis always shows for the second measure. So it doesn't show for the first measure. So when I say dual axis, now observe both of them joined together. Isn't it? So both of them got joined together, and carefully choose the colors here, because sometimes the colors will overlap, right? So this is fine. You can keep the dark colors only. All right. So here we are trying to show the field maps has a profits, and the symbols are displaying the sales. And this is a dual axis on the maps as well. And finally, put that information what you want to show. Let's say state level information in the labels. So it is all overlapping, isn't it? So I don't prefer showing the state names, but if you want to put the state names, you can show that. And observe here. So we'll put state names here. And I don't want to show every name here like this. Okay, because it is overlapping. Then click on the label and say here selected. When user selects that state, then only show the output. Okay, I'm choosing now selected. And if I click on that, it shows that information here. All right, but if I remove that, it doesn't show that. So here I'm making use of that because to avoid overlappings. Right, so which option I selected here? Selected only when user selects. And show even profit as well. So take the profit, put it on that, and show even sales as well. So you can put everything in one and put it on the full screen mode. So this option, this button is for the full screen mode. So click on that, it shows like this. And yes, I want to see the dark color in terms of the profits. Click on that, it shows information like this. It's very bad, but we can see, we can change the colors as well. So if I click on that, it's showing two numbers, but which is profit, which is sales? Yeah, put that information, because it doesn't tell us which one is profit or which one is sales. So delete that and just add the word profit, and just add the word, this is sales. All right. So anything still getting selected in this here? Yeah, this one. Let's close it. Now go to the full screen mode, and wherever you want to analyze, so just place your mouse and it shows you the data. Right. So this is something about the maps here, but still there is something else which we have to understand. So which we will continue in the next session. All right, so it's not complete yet. We still have a few more things to analyze. Okay, so we will stop it here for today, and I'll take your questions now. I have to look at the chat window. Can't we avoid overlapping? Yes, we can avoid overlapping if you choose the right option here. All right, so choose the right option, it avoids overlapping. When there are too many values, we use either selected or highlight. So highlight, we still have time to see where we can use this option. Right, and if you want to only show minimum and maximum values, so you can also display that. But for which one it shows minimum, maximum, just give a try. Just give a look at that. Which one is minimum? Is it sales or is it profits? Let's just give a try on that as well. And yeah, I just selected there, selected without labeling. Okay, that's the option. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chat window or in the voice. All right, so that's all for today, and we will try to understand a couple of more topics here. The types of maps we have and from where we are getting the maps. So we'll try to understand in the next session. All right. So our class begins by 8:30 or 8:35. So we'll just give a few minutes for everyone to join, and then we'll get started. All right. So thank you very much. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.